or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 20. PA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store. Between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two rivals played two of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember Week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-21 49er win. And that wound up both winning them the NFC West and earning them the #1 seed.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown. 49ers. George Kittle, 70 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
Well, this has been a quick strike offense all season long, finding many different ways to manufacture big plays.
They had a big playoff preview today in the papers, and it was about who would set the tone. Well, they just set the tone right there. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
5-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run. It's Lindsey. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They find some open field here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
On 1st and 10 is Lindsey. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Lindsey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 19-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. take this one in for the Seattle touchdown.
To Philip Dorsett.
A 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
10-10 at their own 26-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive tummy.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. Go. 54. Come on. 54. 21. 21. 54. Here we go. Watch the play.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Grant on the return. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 44-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
And the Seahawks 1st down.
7-7, our score after one.
The score tied 7-7.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly. And on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
On 2nd down, Mostert. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, but it'll be second down. Draw play, Garoppolo gives to Mostert. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of the defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 21, 49ers 7. Michael Dixon, the kickoff.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Garoppolo now. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now Garoppolo. They're trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. From the 29, Garoppolo. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That's good for a first down. He's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. Pick it up.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll get this complete to Charlotte Warner. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
One, Omaha. Mike's by four. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Oh, they intercept Garoppolo for the third time. Picked off at the 23. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with him.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Looking long for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Set to kick off.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
Let's see how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Check your hot read. Shit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
And the Seahawks first down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, they'll roll him out right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
That's taken on the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, the good news, they got to stop defensively. The bad news, this is a huge hole that they're in right now. How do they start to dig out of it?
That's a great question because we're not even going to talk about how do they win it, right? We want to see how they can kind of claw back and at least make themselves feel better about the game, because this one is likely out of reach, but maybe one possession at a time. Try and play a little bit better and have some respect when you come out of the game.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Set. Run it.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
A gain of
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 49ers' 40-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. The 20. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. I love plays like that. Defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team, always wanted to be the tailback carrying the ball, trying his best to lug that bad boy the distance.
Pretty impressive pick there off the screen, and then a nice return.
You know, nowadays, they do more ball drills with the big guys than ever before because they want to take possessions away from the offense.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
16 yards.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down. Garoppolo, and it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk there to make the grab. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. It's good, and it's now 35-14.
Makes the score Seahawks 35. 49ers 14.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On the carry.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
1st and 10.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The tackle made back at the 39-yard line.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Lindsey, the ball carrier.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, Wilson out to his left. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24.
49ers.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there is a lot of shock in the stadium. The top seed, the favorites, really getting handled thus far in this divisional round and getting close to a disappointing one-and-done scenario in these playoffs.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Intended for Michael.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check, check, check. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. But he will not get away. He stopped short of the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. On 1st down, it's Lindsey. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. He's got the 1st down inside the 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It certainly has not been the outing that they envisioned on their home turf in the divisional round of the playoffs. And now here is another interception. Picked off off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
He's not going to get me. Mike's 54. Mike. Green, I ain't cut. Come on. Come on. Blue, I ain't cut.
Today's final score, Seahawks 45.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Santa